What is up, nerds? Welcome back to episode of The Pull. I'm your host, AJ Kunze. So I know I just took like a 3-week vacation not too long ago, but me and Cody bought tickets to go to RTX in Austin, Texas like a million years ago. So rather than go on a vacation and leave the show behind, I thought it would be kind of cool to, I don't know, take the show with me this time. So this episode of The Pull is going to be on the road. Live, sort of, from RTX 2015. We're going to do the same thing we do every episode of The Pull. We're going to drink, we're going to joke, we're going to review comic books. Just this time, it's going to be shakier, with worse lighting and shitty sound. The shitty sound won't be different. It's like that every episode. So, here we go. Let's hit the fucking road. What are we doing?
I'm looking for my glasses. And not the ones, not these.
Not those?
No, I'm not that dumb.
Okay, so other glasses. Found them yet, Nicole?
You lose these things like 4 times a day.
You know, Nicole.
Like, I've lost interest in helping. You're helpful, Kunze.
They're not there.
Oh, good. Thanks for filming that.
No problem, anytime.
Appreciate it.
It's gonna be so hard to talk and maintain my position.
Alright.
Of all the Star Wars books, I think I appreciate the Darth Vader series the most. It seems to be the one that's most willing to buck Star Wars general genre conventions. Rather than relying on like lightsaber battles and weird swashbuckly tone, it goes more to a heist or a Sherlocky sort of feel to its stories. You see a lot more manipulation and subterfuge, and you see action and blaster fights. Its most overt influence is the Sherlock series. It even goes as far as dropping visual hints and references back to Sherlock series. This Mutton Chop McBeardsley character looks to be the foil to Vader, the Sherlock to his Moriarty. It is by far the cleverest, smartest, and the slowest burn of all the Star Wars books. It has the most personality and seems the most willing to go to different and bold places.
Oh, good lord, man. They're noodles.
Cody, what do you think of cluster number 6?
I like the guy with a hat and pants.
Alright, so
We'll, once
This
we
is
get out of the
Texas.
city, this will get us out of the city.
we're driving from Dallas
We'll stop
to
and-
Austin to go to RTX. So far, I have not seen one train robbery. No one's tried to rustle my cattle or shoot me over a game of cards, so crime here is very overstated. So Walking Dead came around and kind of revolutionized how we're going to tell post-apocalyptic stories. Rather than focusing on mankind returning to its more animalistic ideals, it posited that when we were reduced to our more basic ideals, we would bring ideas like politics and backstabbery and manipulation with us. Broken World is sort of the first book to use the Walking Dead formula in a brand new way. The plot is President Morgan Freeman tells the world that a meteor is going to crash into Earth, so he collects all the people, puts them in these arcs, and just sends them into space to save them. Wait, that's the plot of Deep Impact. No, but wait, that is the plot of Broken World. Broken World is Deep Impact. Broken World uses more than just sort of the thesis of Walking Dead. There's a lot of really distracting similarities between the two series. Both have Saturday morning cartoon villains with grade school haircuts and jawlines that look like big toes. Both have morally spongy heroes that are forced to do some serial killer level shit in order to fulfill some parental prophecy. Both series have the restart of civilization, these tiny settlements that have a very Stepford quality to them. They're too good to be true, and then underneath them there's some sinister evil lurking. So is Broken World the most original comic book out there? Absolutely not. But it's competently executed, it's well written, the art is solid, if not a little simple. While it reuses ideas and sort of broad tritenesses, those tritenesses exist as sort of a storytelling shorthand. It makes it a lot easier to jump into a brand new world, so you really can't blame them too much for using them. Broken World is not a book that's going to reach the level of the book it's trying to imitate. It is a book that has enough original on its own to warrant a read. Camera work in a moving car is hard. I have no idea how Bang Bus does it. Good morning, nerds and nerdettes. So, we made it to Austin safe, and we're crashing at Cody's friend Jose's house, and we're going to get up here shortly and make our way over to RTX. But before we do that, we're going to talk about John Flood. So the long production and marketing cycles of comic books make them very hard to be topical, because with today's news cycle, the way ideas and stories move quickly in and out of our consciousness, and by the time they make a comic book, the hot topic or hot idea of the moment is gone. That's why I was so impressed by the way John Flood was able to capture ideas that are in our current news cycle and still relevant. The reader proxy of this book is a former cop who was fired for police brutality, and we don't know how legitimate those claims were. All we know is that there was a video, and he has become somewhat infamous for what is on that video. The story picks up sometime after he's been fired, and he's approached to work for a man named John Flood, who's supposed to be some brilliant Sherlock-level personal investigator. All of its social consciousness aside, the real personality of this book comes from the John Flood character. John Flood was experimented on with mind-altering drugs, and it's left him in this state where he's never quite conscious and never quite dreaming. As far as superpowers go, it's not really much. In this first issue, the book doesn't even really play with the powers that much. Basically, all his powers are is he sees things in like this weird tangerine color, and he's really good at recognizing patterns. So basically, he's just Rain Man with novelty sunglasses on. Now, as far as superpowers go, to base an entire book around, it seems kind of lame, but it actually works really well. By understating the superpower and making it only somewhat novel, it forces the book to not rely on the power as a crutch, making it derive its more interesting moments through thought-out conflict and clever writing. The character of John Flood is interesting, but he can rub you a little bit the wrong way too. The writers use his power as an excuse to basically make him really fucking strange. And the strangeness is not always super endearing. There are big parts in the book where he ends up just coming off as a dude with gambit eyes and Asperger's. And they rely too much on weirdness as a character trait, which really isn't a very interesting trait, and it's going to get old really fast. However, his supporting cast is a lot more nuanced and grounded, and allows his quirkiness to play off in a lot more effective ways. So as far as a first issue goes, John Flood is very successful. It gives a lot of interesting stuff to work with, and it's not afraid to tackle big, socially relevant ideas.
If I were girl, I think that's what I would do all the time too.
Jose, what did you think of Kaptara #4?
What?
What?
Here we are at RTX. We're gonna walk around, see some fun stuff, see what people think about comic books. Cool. No, we'll see what happens. But don't worry. I have my cool con shoes, so everything's okay.
Once you get that Simon needs you to that's some X-rated shit on YouTube right there.
What are we doing, Cody?
I don't know.
You don't know? You're not very helpful
I
at
don't know
all.
what I'm doing with my life.
Well, we're sitting getting ready to watch some dude soup. If you don't know what that is, Google it. You're welcome.
Those images. I don't want to know what
Safe
Googling
surf
dude
off.
soup does.
Safe search off, YOLO.
You won't do it.
I like honesty in my life, but unfortunately we live in a world full of politicians, lawyers, and Tom Brady, so we don't get it very often. So maybe that's why I like Airboy so much. It's such an honest piece of literature. When James Robinson and Greg Hinkle put themselves in their own story, they gave their inner selves a... What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything. What up?
Go ahead and tell us about Airboy.
It's a book, and there's people in the air, and there's a boy in it. It's great stuff. Some good stuff there.
You heard it right here. Read it because Nicole told you to. So we got to Dallas, drove to Austin, went to RTX, went to 6th Street in Austin. And if you don't know what 6th Street is in Austin, do yourself a favor and go to 6th Street in Austin. Anyway, after that we came all the way back to Dallas, and we did all of this in 3 days. So yeah, I'm pretty fucking tired. We had an awesome time. But no, vacation's over, and that sucks. And you know what else sucks? Ultimate End. Now, Brian Michael Bendis needs to be given a lot of credit. The dude writes a bajillion books every single month. And he does all this content and keeps it at a pretty consistent quality level. So it's so weird that this book is so bad. It's like he didn't give it his full attention. It just feels so rushed and half-baked. Nothing really flows or fits together. The book is literally comprised of out-of-nowhere action figure style fight scenes justified by floating heads giving James Bond villain monologues. It's so unimpressive and juvenile. All of the charm and well thought out action and bouncy dialogue that Brian Michael Bendis is known for is not here. It's almost like he didn't want to be bothered with this book and he passed it off to his 7-year-old son, who just happened to be going through a major Ritalin withdrawal at the time. Listen, I'm a huge fan of the Ultimate Universe. It was part of what drew me into comics. And to see it go out on such a flat, boring, and hackneyed note, it's a real shame, and it's an unworthy closing chapter to what was a really interesting part of comic book history. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Back home finally. Now, I had a great time at RTX this year, and I hope you had a great time coming with me. This is the first time I ever shot and edited my own on-location event in its entirety, so I'm sorry if there's parts where the sound is crappy, or the lighting's bad, or I didn't do white balance, or whatever. Hey, I was just out having fun, and I wanted to bring you guys along. So let me know what you thought about this on-location episode, and if you guys like it, maybe I'll start doing a couple more. As always, make sure I'm seeing you guys in the comments below. Let me know what you think of the books I'm talking about and the books that I'm not talking about. If you want to keep up with everything going on here at Video Game Time Machine, make sure you follow me on Twitter and the channel on Facebook. We got a lot of new stuff coming to the channel here very, very shortly. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. For every new subscriber we get this week, I will take one nap because I'm very tired, very, very tired after this vacation. And make sure you come back next Sunday and every Sunday till time for the episode of The Pull. Now get out of here and go to some cons because they're fucking rad.